Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aquarius energy. And for this round of readings, we are using a 10-card spread, and we're going to read it, as usual, from a couple different perspectives, because it's not a personal reading. I don't know anything about your life, but I do know that people have free will, and some people harness high vibe Aquarius energy. They look at life from a higher perspective. They keep life in perspective. They have hope and faith and belief in themselves, in their dreams, and in love, and in healing. Willing to step outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world, not operating from their more immature egoic nature. But some people are more about the world, and it could be more about them looking like a shining star in the world, and it's all about these things of the world that drive and motivate them, or themselves that drives them, their ego that drives them, wanting people to indulge them in their ego. You know, we either are motivated by love and to treat other people the way we like to be treated, realizing we are to treat other people in a just and fair way and act with character and integrity, or we haven't learned that yet. And life's all about learning lessons, and some people have learned more of those lessons about how to play nicely with other people than some other people. We all know some. They can be our friends, they can be our family members, they can be people we enjoy visiting with when we go out. But we might know, yeah, you're kind of immature. Yeah, you're kind of impulsive and reckless. Yeah, you're kind of bossy or prideful. You know, it's just to see the truth. If we're going to get in a romantic relationship with someone, we probably have already learned some lessons in life that we don't like to be in relationships with certain people that have certain traits and characteristics. But, you know, some of the people who have those kind of shadowy traits and characteristics could still be in denial of it, and they want us to be in denial of it. And it's like, sorry, I've already been in relationships with people like you, and you're going to stay in the friend zone. So, we're also getting an energy oracle card, see what it wants to contribute. Patience. The reason it came out is because of the 5th chakra, which is the throat, which is Taurus energy. You could be being patient. You could be speaking your truth. Other people might have a harder time speaking their truth. Taurus energy has to do with our philosophy of life. Some people are just trying to balance out their emotions that they have in their free will of dualistic nature. I could build my life on truth and love and justice and fairness and hope and faith and belief. But right now, that's not my philosophy of belief. I do make my life more about me or these things of the world. And sometimes, you know, again, if life's about learning lessons, you know, sometimes people got to go learn lessons the hard way, just like the rest of us did. And while they're off learning lessons, living life the way they live it, that they're sure will make them happy, you know, we're maybe being patient and living our life the way we want to live our life, and hoping that one day they are enlightened to the truth about to be more just and fair, to be more authentic and loving. The overarching reason for the reading is the 5 of Cups, Scorpio energy. High vibe Scorpio is about wanting to be in deep, meaningful relationships, wanting people to work together with us cooperatively in love. Love. Not trying to emotionally manipulate us, or being manipulated by all these other things that keep them from doing love. But other people in shadowy Scorpio energy might be people because of maybe some past pain and heartbreak. They don't want to do deep, meaningful relationships ever again. I'd rather use my emotions manipulatively, kind of indulge myself in a relationship, maybe make my life more about indulging in these things of the world, or making life just more about me. And it can be sad. We can all be sad about relationships that didn't work out in the past. Are we willing to speak our truth? Are we in a relationship that isn't really aligned with our truth? Are we willing to speak our truth? I'm unhappy. I want a more deep, meaningful relationship, and you seem to want to not be ready to do that. Maybe like more superficial, shallow relationships. You know, Are we on the same page? So what is going on in Aquarius energy? We have the Star card, which is Aquarius energy, the Lover's card, and the Hangman card. And we'll just tell you what the rest are. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Emperor, the Five of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Sun. High vibe energy and people are motivated by truth and love and authenticity. In their air sign energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, my truth is I'm motivated and inspired by truth and love, hope and faith and belief in my dreams. Ace of Cups, all three of the emotional water sign energies, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I want relationships based on love, deep, meaningful relationships. I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams. And the Sun, I want to be in life-giving energy, not dead, stagnant, manipulative type energy. I want to be in relationships with other people who are authentic and loving and warm and encouraging. And after the Sun is, we've learned to listen to our intuition and love instead of fear and insecurity and pride and ego. And we're willing to be a student of life. Life's about learning lessons. Do I want to grow and heal and mature myself, or do I not? Am I willing to listen to my intuition and keep moving forward in life, being willing to be a student of life? Or because some relationships in my life didn't work out the way I wanted, no, I no longer listen to my intuition. No, I no longer want to be a student of life. No, I just want to make my life maybe about me, and operating from my ego is what the Hangman can be. I refuse to look at life from any other perspective. I refuse to expand my perception of myself and the world around me. I refuse to see the truth that some of the people who maybe I didn't get along with in my past, that the people who could be in my life aren't like those people. But no, everybody's banned. No, I won't do love with anyone. Nope. I gave up on my dreams. Now I'm just about myself and making my life about the world or making me happy. I'm not doing love anymore. Or I'm just too prideful and egotistical to maybe admit that I have some lessons to learn. Maybe I do have some healing and growing and maturing to do. But some people are kind of full of themselves. And they're unwilling to admit or just look at life any differently. Maybe unwilling to look at life from anyone else's perspective. We've all been hurt before. But I have a dream, and they could say, I don't care what your dream is. I have my dream. And I have my idea of the picture-perfect dream life and dream relationship. And it has to be this way or no way. Well, that's great. They should stay single and not be in relationships with people. Because if we're going to work together with other people, they also have their ideas of what they find enjoyable and ways of being in relationships that they enjoy, and they want to be a student of life, and they don't want to stay stuck in their ego and their fear and their past pain and heartbreak. They want to work through it. And other people are like, no, if you do that, then you've got to leave. I'm only doing this. I want to keep moving forward in this energy. I do not. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Each suit of the deck, the 10, is the maximum. We can have a way of living life, and it can be very fixed and very established in a way. Some people are like, no, I don't want to detach from any of those ways of viewing life in order to step forward in life differently. We go from the Ten of Pentacles to the One Pentacle every time we kind of have completed a cycle. That's what the tens can talk about. I've lived my life a certain way. I've kind of learned everything I can learn from that phase of life. Otherwise, it gets to be where there's nothing new to learn there. And then we let go of that phase of life. We kind of, in the Page of Pentacles, we wish it peace. It was great living my life that way. But I've kind of learned everything I needed to learn from that phase of life. I do have hope and faith and belief in myself. The Emperor can be about learning lessons because the Emperor, whether it's male or female, it can represent I in tarot we have the pages, we have the knights, we have the kings and the queens. We have all these lessons to learn in life. I had to learn like, oh my gosh, my heart's running my life, and the rest of my life is going in the toilet. And then at other times it's like I'm defensive, I'm in my pride and ego. It's kind of like my mind is running my life, my fear. And then that's the most important thing. And other aspects of my life kind of go in the toilet. And we kind of go out to the edge in life to learn all these different lessons. High Vibe Emperor is kind of like, in all the kind of different areas, my heart, my mind, my 3D world, my creative, passionate nature, whatever phase of life I was at, I think I've kind of learned everything in all those areas. Just like we did age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25, when we're kind of done with a phase of life, in the Page of Cups, we kind of wish it peace. But I've decided, the Emperor's about making decisions in our life. If I keep trying to live my life at a certain phase of life, even though I've kind of learned everything I was meant to learn there, it's kind of like I'm resisting listening to my truth and my intuition about being bold and brave and confident to face my fears to go to the next phase of life. And if I kind of keep staying here, I might know that the only reason I keep living my life this way is because of my fear of kind of detaching from this old way of viewing life and believing that I am capable of going to that next phase of life. And that's exactly what we had to do, age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25. I've got to quit living and thinking and viewing life from like a 15-year-old's point of view, because I'm more like becoming an 18-year-old. It's time for me to face my fears and love and believe in myself and overcome my fears so that I can move to that next phase of life. And I think we're meant to do that throughout our life. But when we are young like that, we kind of got a lot of peer pressure to kind of keep up with our peer group and these normal things in the world. Like, you need to go learn how to drive. You need to move out of home. You need to go get a job. And we kind of might have done it reluctantly, but we did do it. Most people. But then once we do become an adult and we are out in the world, then people can kind of be like, now I'm done. I don't have to do that anymore. Whatever stage of life I got to, I don't want to do it anymore. This is how I've decided I want to live my life. And other people might move forward. They might go get several more jobs in their life. They might go to further education. They might go to training. They might, kind of overcome their fears and insecurities to invest in a lot of new different things in their life. Shit, maybe I'll take up bowling. Maybe I'll learn how to plant a garden. Maybe I'll learn how to change oil on my car. Just all these different things. And, some people have this way of viewing life. And kind of the Emperor energy is Aries energy, which is fire sign energy, and Leo is fire sign energy. Some people, though, Aries energy is about the self. And in shadow, it can be people that, I have this certain way of viewing life. This way of life might be very beneficial to me, which is why I kind of like living my life that way. Who are the people most afraid of change? People who maybe think it won't be as so advantageous for them. And maybe the way they view life and live life, it works out where it's quite advantageous for them. And they like it that way. And other people can get in a relationship with them, and then they can feel like they're missing an opportunity in love, because you can be in the relationship for quite a long time, and in a lot of ways it can feel good. The Ten of Pentacles can represent all these different lessons we had to learn and different things we kind of had to negotiate in a relationship and kind of work through. But then when it's time to go to the next phase of the relationship, kind of stepping out of our comfort zone, facing our fears, everybody willing to kind of get out of their more defensive, egoic nature to be willing to step out of their comfort zone some and be a student of life. And some people are like, nope, not going to do it. And they have this way of living life and they refuse to let any of, if you're going to go to a new phase of life, you kind of have to let go of some old ways of viewing life. Makes me think of that Bible verse, when I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, but when I grew up, I put away my childish ways. And we all have our more worldly, egoic, immature, or codependent, or bossy, or controlling, or stubborn, or prideful nature. Some people really like to operate from that foundation. It probably makes them feel safe and secure. What? I can just do this all my life? I never have to step out of my comfort zone? I never have to do anything differently? Yep, that's how I want to live my life. And why? Maybe because it can be, I like to try to control things. Some people like to get in relationships. This is them. Here's their foundation. They might have a lot of stability, a lot of security, attractive, charming, good-looking, status, image, clout. But they could be kind of emotionally immature. And it could be kind of more about indulging themselves in a relationship. And they could look for people who, in some way, look very victorious or successful in the star card in some way. Maybe in the two or the lovers card. People who are loving, but maybe they're stuck because the relationship didn't work out the way they wanted. Oh, look, there's someone who shines bright in the world and they're a loving person, but they feel stuck. I'm going to go take action towards them to get those people in a relationship with me. And because I look like this, an emperor, that the masculine energies in tarot can represent how people present themselves in the world. People could present themselves, I'm this I've learned all these lessons in life, Again, if I didn't mention it, the emperor is like harnessing all four kings in high vibe. But for some people, they just present themselves like, I've learned all these lessons. I've let my heart run my life, let my worldly nature run my life, my more passionate, impulsive nature run my life, my mind, my defensiveness. But I've learned all these lessons and all these things. I make good decisions in my life. And if you get in a relationship with me, I'll make good decisions and take you into account when I have to make decisions too. But for some people, that's not the truth. They really have these unresolved issues they haven't dealt with. And they could be people who really don't work together cooperatively with people from love. They could use their emotions and their sexuality and their traits and characteristics and their status and their image and their money. Use all of those things to try to manipulate people, to keep them stuck in a relationship with them. I want to get you in it. Once I get you in it, then I'm going to try to keep you here. Don't ever don't start listening to your intuition. Don't love and believe in yourself. You look to me like I'm God in your life. You need to be in a relationship with me to feel loved, to feel stable, to feel secure. Don't listen to your more hopeful, believing, creative, inspired nature and be willing to be a student of life and grow or heal or mature yourself, because I don't do that and I want to do this. And you can be in that relationship for a long time because in a lot of ways they do seem to make good decisions in a relationship. They could seem loving and nurturing and all those things. But once the relationship has gotten to a certain point, and they might not even know it themselves because they maybe really haven't been to that point in life where it really kind of challenges them to deal with the truth. The sun is trying to illuminate the truth. Some people can think they're these stable, grounded, emotionally mature, loving people until they get in a relationship with someone that somewhere during the course of the relationship, the other person's kind of sad. And they feel kind of stuck because they did think a dream was going to come into reality. I thought we were going to get in this relationship and then, it was going to continue on. It was going to grow and mature itself over time. But I kind of feel like it has gotten to a place of stagnancy. And when they feel stuck and sad, they don't just immediately assume it has to do with their partner, like, oh my gosh, it's all your fault. First they kind of look at themselves and wonder, like, why do I feel stuck? Why am I kind of sad? It seems like I kind of have everything that I would want and everything, but then they could start to look at life. We all, in our more worldly nature, can get caught up in these things of the world, and there's these things we want to accomplish, and these things we want to have in our world. And we all could have been kind of not could have been operating a little bit more from our pride and ego, could have been more codependent. And we all go through a codependent stage because we've all been children before, where we look to other people to be the answer to our problems. And then we get out of our families where we had looked to our mom or our dad and that to provide that sense of emotional stability and security for us. And we go out in the world and we're looking for someone to take their place. Won't you love me? Won't you make me feel loved and valued and stable and grounded? Because we haven't learned to take over that role within ourselves. And that's what I view high vibe Leo energy as being. When we have learned to be our own best mother, father, coach voice in our head, and we've learned to love like our own inner child nature, and we're not in more codependent energy. But we have these lessons to learn in life, and we get drawn and attracted to all these different people in the world because we have lessons to learn from them to help us get more clear about our truth and our philosophy of life, and what we think is just and fair in the world, and what we think is just and fair in relationships. And then we do this work within ourselves to figure out, why do I kind of feel stuck? Why do I kind of feel sad? And then they could do this work within themselves. The Ten of Pentacles is Virgo energy, about doing this inner work. Do I love myself? Do I appreciate what I bring to the table? Do I let things manipulate me and make me feel stuck? What manipulates me? Who manipulates me? Is it my fear? Is it my insecurity? Is it my ego? Is it my codependent nature? Is it my fear? And then they could decide and be inspired that I want to work through some of those issues. I don't like some of those things manipulating me anymore. And then they do work through it. And they kind of offer themselves that cup of love. If we have the Five of Cups and we add the 1 cup, we get to the 6 of Cups. And the 6 of Cups can talk about getting balanced within ourselves and having reconciled ourselves with some past issues, that we can let those things go. And it's kind of like we're free from them, And again, the truth sets us free. And when we work through some of those issues, that those past pain and heartbreaks, some of those fears and insecurities that we work through, those things no longer have that kind of hold on us and aren't manipulating us the way they used to manipulate us. And now we are maybe more connected in with our emotions and our intuition. And the Two of Swords is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. We could just feel more balanced within ourselves, which before we could have been tipped more out of balance into looking to the world and outside of ourselves for the answers and to make us feel better, caught up in these things of the world, wanting to go indulge in these things of the world, thinking they would make us happy, kind of caught up in the worldly dream and thinking these certain things were the most important thing, versus learning to love and believe in ourselves, right? Well, when one person does that work within themselves, then they are offering that to the people they're in a relationship with. And some of the people in their life don't like that. It was kind of like, well, before I seemed like the more stable, grounded, mature person, and I like to view myself that way. And I liked it when you were stuck and maybe had some pain and heartbreak and were a more codependent energy, because then you look at me and view me this way. But if you kind of get on the same page as me and now you want to move the relationship forward, well, then I have to do this work within myself about my fears and insecurities of moving forward in life differently. And it's kind of like the teacher has to become the student. They were the teacher, you were like the student, they were like the parent, you were like the child. Well, now the child's grown up and the child wants to move forward in the relationship dynamic differently. Just like if you have children, when your child is a child, they might, defer more to a parent. But as a child grows up and becomes an adult, they want the relationship to change. And some parents can have a problem with that too. It's like, well, no, I like playing this role in your life. It's like, yeah, but I'm not that person anymore. And I'm moving forward like this. Are you coming with or not? Well, parents generally kind of have to indulge, they can't control their child anymore. And they love their child, so they'll maybe accommodate the fact that they're more of a grown-up now. But in a romantic relationship, partners can really not like that at all. And then the partner can be sad because they still haven't worked through their regrets of the past. And you did. And you've freed yourself, shadowy energy at the big picture is represented by the devil. All these things that limit us, oppress us, confine us, restrict us. And it can be, in the Taurus energy, a philosophy of life and how we view ourselves and how we view the world. And you don't view yourself and the world the same way you did before. Just like happens in life. Age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25. At age 25, you don't view life the way you did when you were 15. And you don't view relationships the same way you did. But other people could be very resistant to change. They have a certain way of viewing life and they want to keep living it that way. And sometimes that can be the end of a relationship. You're sad, they're sad. You have kind of healed and grown and matured and ready to move forward in life differently. Maybe becoming more authentically yourself instead of operating more from your egoic, worldly nature. You kind of set yourself free from some things, but they don't want to do that. And there is some people, their whole life and their philosophy of life and their truth is, I love the world and I'm more motivated and inspired to live life from my ego. I don't want to be more authentically myself in the world. I don't want to shine my authentic light. I want to make my life about the world. That's how I view life. And if their dream in their Aquarius energy is that's my truth and that's what's important to me and that's how I want to live my life. And other people are like, I don't want to make my life just about the world or ego or image or indulgence. I want to be in foundations with people who are have that hopeful, believing spirit and are authentic and loving and inspired to work through their baggage to be free of it so we can keep going on this adventure of learning lessons in life. Life's about learning lessons. And some people are like, I learned enough. I'm good. I want to stay here. Which is kind of staying stagnant and dead in a way. Nothing new to learn there. And other people are like, I feel stuck and sad because nothing ever changes here. It's the same thing over and over and over. Can't we kind of look at life differently and maybe not have to do all those things all the time? Can't we do some things differently here and there? And some people are like, nope, if you want to do that, I'm going to turn my back to you. I'll go find someone else who views life the way I do it. Who wants to go indulge in those things, makes their life about those things. I don't want to have to deal with whatever it is. Maybe it would have to be being in a more deep, meaningful relationship. I don't want to do a more deep, meaningful relationship. I might like, in my Scorpio energy that I harness, I might like to keep my emotions and everything more buried under the surface. I'll indulge in a relationship. I might make good decisions in a relationship. I might do all these things that make our relationship look really good and stable, but I won't do a more deep, meaningful relationship because that would mean I can't hide behind my defensive, egoic nature anymore. And I would have to let my more hopeful, believing, authentic, loving nature out to play in the world. And I don't let that aspect of myself come out in the world. They could get hurt. And maybe these people don't feel like they could pick themselves back up again if they really let their more authentic nature out in the world. So some people have had those type of relationships end. Some people could have those type of relationships ending right now. Some people moved on from those people, listening to their intuition to have a new beginning. And as they're moving forward, they're keeping things in perspective, focused on truth and love to guide them. They might feel a little stuck because it's kind of like waiting for the next lesson to come up in your life in a way. And putting in this work and effort, encouraging other people in your life and people that you meet to love and believe in themselves and look at life differently and have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And some people will, some people won't. And the people in our life who are willing to work together with us in that way. And as some of you are moving forward, you're going to meet different people. Some of those people, you're going to listen to your intuition about those people, because some of those people are kind of like the last people that you've known in your life. And it's like, I kind of get the feeling you're kind of emotionally immature and you kind of use your resources to tempt and manipulate people. And it's more another superficial, shallow relationship. And you could be sad that, you kind of got to move on from some of those people. But now you've learned to listen to your intuition. It's like, I've already been in relationships like that. And I know it doesn't make me happy. And I know if I indulge in my ego, the same pattern's going to repeat itself. I'm looking for someone who has done that inner work, has learned to love themselves, and has worked through their regrets of the past and their self-limiting beliefs and their prideful, immature, egoic nature, and have seen the truth that love is what makes it all worthwhile. And they've freed themselves from some of the same things that I've freed myself from, because at any stage of life, we've got our issues. It's like if you were to look at life as a video game, there's certain challenges and obstacles you have to overcome to kind of go to the next level of life. And whatever phase of life we're at in learning lessons in life, we kind of want to be in relationships with people who have overcome some of those same obstacles and kind of on the same page as us. And some of those people will be on the same page as you. And if your intuition tells you that this person has worked through some of the same ways of viewing life that you have, and that you're on the same page and they are being authentic and loving and they're intuitive and they're willing to go on this new journey with you, then those are people you'll have a new beginning with. And, we're just listening to our intuition based on all these lessons we've learned in life. The Page of Cups can talk about making small gestures to people, we get to know people. But as the Emperor in our own life, we make good decisions in our own life. I've been hurt before. I'm not in defensive energy in a sense where I blanket statement everyone, but I am willing to get to know people to find out what their truth is and what drives and motivates them. And if I think you're on the same page as me, maybe we could spend more time together to get to know each other. If I find out, I made a gesture to get to know you, and it's like, yeah, you seem to be all caught up in yourself or the world or something. Yeah, I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. So high vibe people are looking for people that High vibe Aquarius, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, the air signs, the water signs, Aries energy, high vibe Scorpio, high vibe Libra, high vibe earth signs. People who are more aligned with their hopeful, believing, loving nature than their more defensive, prideful, immature, egoic, self-centered nature. And I think as you're moving forward in that energy, other people see that you're not taking action more out of pride or ego or immaturity or ego, and other people would want to be in a relationship with you because of it, if you're not in a relationship already. So, what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Aquarius energy? What is coming up for them that they might not see coming up? And some of you do have people in your life that are helping you look at life differently. And there can be a lot of things that help us look at life differently. Anything that inspires us in a way, books, movies, music. People in our life who've experienced similar situations could be helping you to love yourself and believe in yourself and inspire you to make better decisions in your life and see through kind of people in your life who might operate more from ego or don't have your best intentions, and to listen to your intuition and keep having hope and faith and belief in your dreams. We have the Tower card, and the reason is because of the King of Swords. What you don't see coming. Well, the Tower card can, it can take time to work through these issues. And when we do work through those issues, the Tower card can be we're finally ready to let go of that old way of viewing life, that old way of living life, things that could have tempted us, past pain and heartbreak and things like that. And we're ready to move forward and have that new beginning. Why? Because of the King of Swords. We did this work to stand in our truth. The King of Swords is about truth, justice, fairness, character and integrity, balance. And as you do this work within yourself, you're getting balance within yourself, standing in your truth, getting clear. Who are the people in my life who are acting with truth, character, integrity, love, want me to love and believe in myself and grow to my full potential? And who are the people in my life that are trying to manipulate and control me, get me up in my head, in my fears, in my insecurities, in my defensive nature? Those people I'm letting go of because they harness their Libra King of Swords energy in a shadowy way. And though they might try to present themselves in my life like they're an authority figure, they know more than me, I should listen to them, they know the truth. And it's like, I don't know if I've been following your advice. And it seems like I'm focused on you, whoever that person could be in their life. It keeps not working out the way I want. And part of why some people would listen to some other people in their life is because they could be codependent on those people, but they could also respect and admire them. But there's been a part of themselves in their Taurus Libra energy, of their philosophy of life and what they think is just and fair, kind of aligned with that. And that's why some of those people could have aligned with those people. I viewed them as a just and fair person who acted with character and integrity, who had my best interest at heart. But some people could be realizing, the more I keep listening to your advice, the more it seems like I'm missing opportunities in authentic, truthful, loving, warm relationships. Why do I listen more to my mind than my heart or other people in my life? Why am I not listening to my intuition and believing in myself? That might be how some people want to live their life, and that could work out for them. But is that my truth? And is that how I want to live my life? High vibe energy is being independent. I am my own person. I have my own dreams and aspirations and things that motivate and inspire me. And I think that's great that you're living your life the way you want to live your life, but if that's not my truth, am I willing to listen to my own intuition to go live my own authentic life? And so it could be people getting out of their head, because the King of Swords can represent people's more emotionally defensive nature, or, well, we should do this. This makes logical, practical sense. Or some of you could be detaching from someone who you thought would be more just and fair and balanced, but you're seeing the truth that they're not. And it just over time lets you emotionally detach. Your truth has changed. What was your truth at one time is no longer your truth. Because of these life experiences, you've gotten more clear about your truth. And you might have come into realizing, just these truths of other people in the world. If you're a loving, giving, nurturing, hopeful, believing person, you tend to think that other people are like that, but not everybody is. Some people are very prideful. Some people are very immature. Some people are very bossy and controlling. Some people are very stubborn and rigid. And we come into contact with all these different people to see, is that my truth or is that not my truth? And when we can get kind of in these mismatched relationships, I think high vibe people offer them truth and love. And they're loving and encouraging, but this isn't my truth. This might be your truth, but I'm moving forward differently. Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone in truth and love and justice and fairness to move forward with me in that way? And if not, then I have to wish you peace. But I need to move forward in life differently because this isn't my truth. And over time, I have come to see that this is your truth. If you are motivated and inspired to live life differently, look at life from a higher perspective, have hope and faith and belief in love, not be so consumed with yourself or these things of the world or ego or image or being indulged, you would live your life differently. And I'm done kind of being caught up in the illusion of it. And though I'm sad and though I could love you, I feel like I am offering truth and love and authenticity. And I kind of feel like maybe you're trying to use the love that I have for you to emotionally manipulate me to keep me doing a relationship the way you want. And I just can't keep living my life like that anymore. There's nothing new to learn there, but they might not care. They'll go get to know other people, get in other relationships, different people, different faces. It's just like people that keep, say, being kind of immature at a job, and they go from job to job to job, and they keep expecting a different outcome, and it can go really good for quite a while at a job, but then there are more immature ways of being, or bossy, or stubborn, or prideful, or emotionally detached ways of being eventually show themselves, and then that job doesn't really work out, But some people refuse to see the truth. They refuse to get out of their either self-centered, egoic, bossy, controlling, immature, stubborn ways of being. It's like, oh, that's fine. You just need to find someone who's on that same page as you, and it's not me. And I'm going to move forward with the people in my life who I do think are more on the same page as me. And you can move forward with the people who are more on the same page as you. I wish you peace. What's coming up for the people who harness a little more worldly or shadowy Aquarius energy that they might not see coming up? The Two of Swords, because of the Emperor. So when people kind of act these ways in relationships that other people could find a little immature, for a long time in the Two of Swords, we can want to stay in denial of the truth. And we keep putting in work and effort to make a relationship work because we would like it to work. If we go get a job, in a friendship, in a romantic relationship, high vibe people try to put a lot of work and effort to make a relationship work. And for a long time, they turn their back on seeing the truth that the person they're emotionally invested in is operating more from their egoic nature. But we don't want to see the truth of it because we want to keep moving forward with them in a relationship, hoping one day they'll change. But if things keep not changing, there are going to be some people in their life anyway, who are no longer in denial of the truth. Why? Because of the Emperor energy, either within themselves or other people or things in the world that inspire them to look at life differently. Why would I keep staying in a relationship with someone? I might feel they love me. I could love them. By worldly standards, it looks like a dream has come true. But they're just unwilling to expand their perception of how they view the world, how they view relationships. Could even be people who do things kind of purposely to prove a point. Shadowy Taurus, shadowy Pisces, shadowy King of Swords, shadowy Aries can be very stubborn, unwilling to budge. This is how I view life. This is what I think is just and fair. And if I say it's just and fair, you should think it's just and fair. And it's like, I don't think it's just and fair. And I've decided I'm going to offer truth and love and encouragement to my own inner child nature to love and believe in myself, to go invest in my dreams. Because this might be your idea of the dream life, but it's not my idea of the dream life. And some of the kind of worldly, shadowy people could be shocked because they would maybe be willing, they think, to stay in a relationship if it had all these things of the world, because those things of the world are very important to them. And again, some people use those things of the world to keep tempting people to keep staying in a relationship. Oh, you won't leave because I'm attractive. Oh, you won't leave because of the social clout I have. You won't leave because of the money I have. And eventually people are like, I don't like feeling like people are trying to manipulate me. If we're not in this relationship because of truth and love and because we want to be in a relationship, then I don't want to be in it. If your idea is that I offer love and you keep operating from your ego, no, that's not my idea of a relationship. And my intuition is telling me to leave, no longer in denial of the truth. I wish you peace, I'm leaving. And some people are doing that right now. And eventually, what might happen that they don't see coming is they might get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, who doesn't want to listen to their intuition. And also, it's their truth. I'm not in two minds about it. My life is all about being motivated and inspired to look like a boss in the world. I'll be in a relationship with you. This is a good idea. I love operating from my ego. I love being in relationships that have all these things of the world. Yeah, I'll be in a relationship with you. But that person also, that's why they're in the relationship. It's not because of truth and love and justice and fairness. It's because we look like bosses in the world. I might not like you. I might not be happy in the relationship, but I'll keep staying in it because it's good for my ego and my image and it makes me look like a boss in the world. We'll both stay in denial that we're kind of immature and we've made these things of the world so important to us. And if they can find someone who that is their philosophy of life, they'll just try to balance out their emotions, that they're kind of in a relationship more for the pride and ego and image of it. And it might make it kind of obvious to them, even though for a long time they wanted to stay in denial of it, that maybe that is what drives and motivates them. And for other people in their life, it might be kind of obvious that that is what drives and motivates them. Where before they maybe didn't want people to see the truth, that it was these things of the world or their ego or something that really is kind of the driving factor in their life. But, you can try to confuse people about the truth and hide the truth from people. but your actions kind of reveal the truth of what really drives and motivates you. And they could have other people in their life that are no longer in denial of the truth of who they are. I don't think you're kind of this hopeful, believing person in love like you used to present yourself as. I think you're pretty much trying to prey on people who feel stuck, and then you try to present yourself as this high vibe person. But if those people really want to do truth and love, you let those people go and you go prey on someone else you think is stuck to try to get that person to indulge you in your ego or your lust or your greed or your immaturity. And if you can get that person to maybe feel sorry for you, maybe they play the poor, poor, pitiful me. Oh, those people left. I was this upstanding person who, and if someone buys into the illusion and doesn't see through the illusion of who they are, they could keep staying in a relationship. But eventually, if they get in a relationship with high vibe people, eventually high vibe people, they can't control their intuition and stop other people from listening to their intuition. And the people who do listen to their intuition will move away from them. The people who do operate more from ego, it kind of clouds their judgment. Those people would maybe be willing to keep moving forward with them in a relationship. And if those people never connect more in with their emotions and their intuition, they'll stay in a relationship with them. But it might be more because of the ego or the image and this person kind of being bossy and controlling. And people could see the fact of it. Like, you don't get in relationships with people who challenge you to grow and mature yourself. You stay maybe in relationships with people who you think are more codependent so that you can control them. You should be so proud of yourself, right? So there you go. But teach your own. Everybody has the free will to live their life the way they want it. But I do think for the high vibe people will see the truth of your foundation, that you are this just and fair and truthful and balanced and authentic and loving person, regardless if other people in the world tried to confuse people about the truth of who they are. And over time, those people won't be in denial about some of the people that you both could have known. You could have seen the truth about them before other people saw the truth about them, but eventually more people will see the truth of who's really who they say they are and who just tries to act like they're a certain type of person, but they're not. So there you go, Aquarius energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.